Hello my family, new day. Today we have a lot going on. I have some dehydrating of more parsley to do. I'll take you through the process on how I do that. I have a product that came to me that I'm going to test out and share this with you. Also, I have a beautiful supper coming on tonight, and I am going to attempt to make a cranberry lemon orange biscotti along with a cranberry lemon orange low carb biscotti. Yep, both. So I am looking to get back on track with eating better, and so the treats will be used in moderation. These will be put in the freezer and used sparingly. So, and I am out from my last batch I made, so I thought I'd share with you some Italian cuisine, because I am personally, for myself, going to take the challenge and I am going to do dishes from Italy. So, let's get started. Alright, so our first set of business is we have some fresh parsley. I have washed these. I am going to take these and set them out on my towel just to dampen them off just a bit, and we're going to set these on my dehydrator. I will be dehydrating these for a few hours at least at 105 degrees on my Excalibur dehydrator. So that is odd, y'all. So I went and bought fresh parsley, and in here is a piece of purslane. Now, I don't know if you're familiar, if anybody's heard of that. Let's see if that you can see that. Purslane is actually an edible vine or edible plant. But it was actually kind of weird because I did get this from Walmart. This is not my own, y'all. So at 98 cents a bunch, I grabbed 6 bundles of them. I need to get my parsley built back up, so this is the way I'm going to do it. It still comes out cheaper doing my own, plus it's more flavorful, in my opinion, than the freeze-dried, however, preserved ones they do at the grocery store. So, I take, now after doing this, I'll take my sheets here, as you can see. Hopefully you can see this. And I'm just going to lay these across here, kind of separate them as much as I possibly can. I'll bring that over here so you can see this. So this is a very simple method. It really doesn't take long to dehydrate these. I'd say a couple of hours. So I'm just going to pull these apart. I want them to get as much air as possible. Now, depending on the stems, if you want the stems, you can use these stems. They will add more flavor to your parsley, but it will take longer to dehydrate for that as well. What you can possibly do is, once the leaves are dry, you can pull the leaves off, put the stems back on, and put them back in your dehydrator to finish it off. That's usually what I will do, because I will add some of my stems to this. That's it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of these. I'm going to put them in my dehydrator, get these going, and then we are going to get on to the biscotti. Alright, y'all, before we get into making the biscotti, I do want to share with you something that came to me that I thought it was quite interesting. Now, thanks to you all, and I have to say thanks to you for helping me grow. You've been amazing. And I was asked for an offer, and I will tell you, for anything that I try for anyone, the one thing that you will get out of me is the absolute truth. I will let you know if I am testing a product such as this one. I am going to be testing out the VP05, the electric mason jar vacuum sealer. This one comes from Love Moment. I will put the link in the description below if you are interested in this product as well. I will let you know that they have graciously, in some form or way, sponsored me, and this is my first sponsor. I am completely blessed. However, regardless of who they are, I am always going to tell you all the truth. I am fixing to go ahead and do this unboxing, and I will do a very truthful review for you. To be honest with you, I have tested this out before I started, and I will go ahead along with you and show you how this works. I will tell you my review on this and whether I would recommend this product or not. So I have, as you know, used the brake bleeder. It is completely off-grid, and it does take some time, especially if you've got carpal tunnel, to sit there and pressurize this thing. So I thought this was kind of interesting to go ahead and try it. So I opened it up, and so here's what we have. It did come with some canning lids, both wide mouth and regular, as this device works for both types. It has a charging unit to charge this up. The one thing I did not get out of this, and I will let you know, is it has the cord, but it does not have the plug-in. So you are going to have to use your own plug-in to charge this up. I don't know why it did not come with one. It just comes with the cord, or at least this one did. So, which I'll use my phone charger, but you needed to know that right off the bat, that it does not have a plug-in for this cord. Now, it did have a plastic film on this, which I took it off, because if you don't pull that film off, you can't find the little unit where your plug-in hooks up to. So, and I don't know if you can see, if I can get right there. That's the unit right there. This is your on and off button right here, and this is your symbol as where it shows display from the amount of battery source you have left to the amount of PSI pressure you are using. It does suggest to do 40 or above % on your jars. So it does come with an instruction booklet as well. And so we are going to try this little device out. I have a jar of anise hyssop seed, and as you can see, it is not sealed. So I have my tea, which is my homegrown anise hyssop. We're going to try this and see how well, because as you know, on my mason jars, I like to airtight my seals because I don't have moisture packets or anything like that in my jars. So I want to pull out as much air in my jars as possible. So according to this, it does have, this is the regular mason jar ring. You can unlock it and pull it out, and then it also has the wide mouth right here. So it does give you an option for both styles. Let's see here, put this, line this up and lock it in place, and then we are using the regular mouth. So all you basically do is place this over the top of your jars like so. Turn on your unit. Now I'm showing it 68% battery life, so that's what it came with, honestly. So this is on. Now I'm actually going to hold, or I'm placing this on here, making sure it's on here, and then I'm going to hold this button down. Maybe not. Okay. I'm still learning how to use this, y'all. Did it the first time. Let me grab the instructions again. Okay, so I told you this is going to be raw. This is who I am, so raw it is. Okay, you do have to press this really tight against the jar. And it could be my lid too. hang on. It might be my lid. Give me a moment. Okay, y'all, so it was me. I told you this was an unboxing, so I'm learning how to do this. Actually, it's a pretty neat device. So you would take this on top of your jar. I was pushing this button and holding it. You do not hold that button. You place it on your jar and just pop it like this. Now, it's going to count down for you, or count up, the amount of pressure that's going into this jar. Now, it's suggested to go 40 or up into the 40s. I'm going to go as far as 41, and we'll see how this does. I could hear the air coming out of this. It's fairly quiet. I'm at 27. This thing is actually pretty simple to use, honestly, and the only amount of electricity you use is basically to charge up its battery. Now you hit the start button again and it automatically stops. Pull your device off, and does it seal? I am gripping just the ring, the edge of the lid, and it is sealed. Now I am going to open this so that you can hear the sealing in this, and let's see if it pulled the air out. Let me get a spoon. Now we're going to go ahead and pop this off. Let's see if it worked. That worked. Y'all, I kind of like this thing. Honestly, it's fairly simple. Pop that just like that. This is really a neat device, y'all. I will highly recommend this thing. I wish I had it sooner, honestly. If I'd have known something about it, I would have definitely used this a lot sooner. So, like I said, the only thing it does not come with is the plug-in for the end of your device here. At least this unit didn't. So, I, again, will put the description in the description box. I will put the link to this device. It is fairly cheap. I think it was about 20 bucks or so for this device, and I would definitely recommend it for those of you who are dehydrating like I do. I'm very high advocate into dehydrating every time, y'all, every time. So I think I will use this with my brake bleeder. So this one actually is a whole lot simpler. It's a portable vacuum sealer. I don't have this great big device either. Just pop it on my jars and away we go. I had done the onions as well, and it's keeping that freshness in also. So highly recommend it, y'all. Yeah, I will put this in the description, and you can order your own if you like to. Now let's get on to our biscotti. Okay, y'all, so I am going to be using my KitchenAid for this. We are going to start with, we are actually making an almond cranberry biscotti, and I'm going to use a little bit of orange and lemon zest. So I'm going to change this recipe up a bit. I will put in the description below the recipe that I make for this. But we have currently, oh, and I'm adding cranberries. So I currently have some cranberries sitting in some nice hot water to plump them up at the moment and set aside. We have 3/4 cup of cranberries and 1 cup of water. They've been sitting for a bit and they're already plump pretty much. So I'm going to strain this. Now these, the kind I am using is 50% less sugar. I can't find any unsweetened cranberries where I live, so I just went with the less sweet version. I do plan on this fall, or when cranberries come into season for the holidays, I plan on stocking up on some of those, and I will be dehydrating them. That way I can have unsweetened whenever I want. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these in here and set that aside. Now I am going to be in my bowl here adding 2 eggs. I am going to combine with, let's see here, 3/4 cup of sugar. half a teaspoon of salt. And I will have an extra egg from this as well that I'm going to need. Now going to go ahead and whip this up till it's light and frothy. And I am pretty sure this is going to be too loud, so we will be back after it reaches its consistency. Okay, so now we have our mix is light and frothy. Now I'm going to set this on slowly, and I'm going to mix my oil. You can use whatever oil you'd like. I am using a half a cup is what the recipe calls for of olive oil. You can use coconut, olive oil, avocado oil, vegetable, whatever you choose. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this in here. Then I'm going to add my other ingredients. Get this mixed and we will be right back. Alright, so now I am going to be adding 1 teaspoon of orange zest into this. This is where I'm changing it a bit. I'm also going to be adding 1 teaspoon of lemon zest as well. And I am going to be using that reserved lemon zest that I had froze in prior videos in the past. I told you that I was saving this lemon zest. Well, here's why. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a teaspoon of that inside there. I'm also going to add, let's see here, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So now I'm going to add our vanilla, and then I'm going to mix this up. Then we will be adding our dry ingredients. There's my teaspoon of vanilla. Mix this up and we will be right back. Okay, so after squeezing out the extra liquid in my cranberries, my 3/4 cups of cranberries, I've now added that to my mix. And now this recipe calls for pistachios. I actually went with the less expensive, and I am actually going to be using almonds. So I am going to be using 3/4 cup of almonds into, now these are slivered, so I'm just going to go ahead and add this. They're already cut, I don't have to worry about it. So I'm using my 1/4 cup thing and getting 3/4 of a cup of nuts in here. Now I'm going to mix this really well. Just a little bit more. Now we'll mix that up, and then we will come back using our dry ingredients. Okay, so in a separate bowl, I am adding 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And I'm going to need a little extra for dusting on my board once we get this done. So I'm going to be sifting these ingredients as well. I'm going to add to that 2 teaspoons of baking powder. This one. And 2. Now we're going to sift this together, and we are going to slowly incorporate this into our wet ingredients. We're just going to sift this out. Okay, and now we're going to add this. So I am going to take and add these ingredients. When I get it all incorporated, I will come back and show you where our next step is. Okay, y'all, so this is a very sticky dough to work with. So we're going to, it says to lightly do your counters, but I'm going to tell you, I put a little bit more than lightly, because this is going to have to be worked with my hands. And frankly, as sticky as this mix is, I think it needed more than just a light coating. So I'm getting all of this out of here. I am also going to be using a pastry cutter to work with this dough. That way I can get it to form on my parchment paper and to my baking sheet. My oven is set for 325 degrees right now, as these will be baked for the first round, then cut or cooled, cut, and baked a second time. Biscotti means cooked twice. So there's that, and now we're going to work with this, and to be able to get this dough to work with our hands, I will be cutting this into 2 pieces basically. So yes, this is a very sticky dough, and I should have actually worn my apron doing this as well. I'm just working on this where I can make a log, like so, as you can see. Working this some more. I'm going to actually go ahead and cut this in half because I'm going to be doing 2 portions of this. That's pretty good. Put this on my cookie sheet. And go ahead and work with this one here. Bring it out. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this one on my cookie sheet. Get this cleaned up some, and I will be right back so that you can see how I'm going to form this biscotti as well. Okay, so now I'm going to try to form this. I am going to make this at least 12 or 8 inches long, maybe about 3 inches wide. I want this about a 1/4 inch thick, or I mean a 1/2 inch thick, y'all. Sorry about that. And I'm going to shape this into a nice square form as best as I possibly can. The same with this one right here. Now this one might be a little longer. I didn't quite get it even, so it doesn't matter though. I'm gonna go ahead and press this down some more. Bring it out. And then I'm going to take and make my edges quite nicely. So I am going to, at this point, as soon as I can find my pastry thing here, I'm going to take my edges and make some nice clean edging on my biscotti dough. This way when I go to cut it, it'll look, make it a lot easier to work with too. Same with this one right here. And just like so. And you don't have to be perfect or nothing like that. Alright, now the next step is I'm going to be taking 1 beaten egg, a small egg, and I'm going to be using that to brush on this, and then we are going to bake this at 325 degrees for about, let's see here, 30 minutes. So let me get my egg beaten and we will brush that on here. Alright y'all, so we now have beaten a small egg, and now we're just going to lightly brush our biscottis on the tops, just like so. At this point, if you wanted to, you can sprinkle on some sugar in the raw on top if you wanted that kind of topping. I'm not going to do that. I have decided, though, I'm trying to decide, that is, if I want to add some dark chocolate to this or not too. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to just brush these, and then we're going to get this in the oven. And I will go ahead and get ready, set my timer for 30 minutes, and get these cooked, bring it out, cool, cut, cook again, and then we have a low carb version of biscottis to make. So I'm going to go ahead and preset my timer for 30 minutes. right, now we're going to pop this on the top rack of our oven. Hit our timer, and we will be back. Okay, y'all, so this is our first round. They just came out of the oven after the first 30 minutes. Now I am going to decrease my oven down to 300 degrees for the second baking. I do want these to cool slightly. I do not want them to get completely cooled, as they will break apart when I cut them. These have to be cut. They can't actually be cut right now. They will fall apart otherwise, so I need this to get somewhat cool, and then we will be cutting these up into a quarter, anywhere from a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch slices. So we will get this cooled off slightly, then I will come back and slice these up. Okay, y'all, so before this cools off completely, I'm going to take a nice serrated edge on these. They are easier to cut, and I'm going to bring it down and cut into my pieces just like so. I think I want to do that just slightly less, and then I'm going to pop these up back on my cookie sheet up just like this. So I'm going to line these as I cut right across the top. All the way through. Now I am doing them up on the top so that they can actually get evenly distributed at the second bake, or you can lay them on your side and turn them over about midpoint of the baking, like this way as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave mine upright. Now I am getting some crumb to this, but not enough to say that it's going to ruin anything. So now, to keep it balanced, I'm going to turn around and get rid of these and then bring this other one down. I'm going to go ahead and finish off cutting these cookies, getting them on my baking sheet, and getting them back in the oven, this time for about 20 minutes at 300 degrees. We've got all of our biscotti cut. Now it's time to put them in there for their second baking, this time 20 minutes, again at 300. This is to make sure that they evenly cook, and this is where they become kind of crunchy at the same time. So we're going to let this come in here, set our timer for 20 minutes, and again, we will be back as soon as these are finished. Just so you know, biscottis used to intimidate me because of the process of it, and they were I thought, such a delicate cookie to even make, but I absolutely loved buying them. So when I tried it for the first time making my own biscotti, I actually ended up taking, that is my grandson in the background, y'all, I am so sorry. I ended up taking and making it homemade, and the flavor was so much more than what I could buy at the store. So I decided from there on, I have been making my own biscotti, and there are several ways that you can do so. You can make them with just plain almond and anise, almond and cranberry, pistachio. Matter of fact, on these, I can leave them plain just like they are. I could drizzle some pecans on the top with chocolate and some salted caramel, or just plain caramel and dark chocolate, or you can play with biscottis in so many ways. I have various recipes I want to try, and this is just a basis so that I could go with you to show you step by step. Biscottis are amazing cookies. They are ones that you can put in your freezer up to 3 months and enjoy it slowly. So these make approximately, they say, I didn't count it actually, they say anywhere from 30 to 34 cookies. I will count them when I am done. We'll see if I actually got 30 or not. It depends on how you cut them. So we're going to wait until these are finished on their second bake, until everything is golden brown, and let them cool off. They will come out kind of soft, and as they cool, they will end up actually becoming more firm. So we will get to this one finish this off, and then we are going to, that is my first time. Now that one is intimidating because I do know many of you would like me to find the variations from Mediterranean, All-American Standard, and even keto to low carb. And I decided to try the low carb biscotti and see if I can do this. Though I am doing this with you on this video, never done before, these are risks like I take, just like the risk I took when I made cheese and it didn't turn out right. So I'm hoping that this one will. I'm hoping for success because I would love to be able to find a biscotti recipe, and if this one don't work, I'm not giving up because there are others. I will find one that will work and we'll see what happens. Now I do know, and please understand, anything keto and low carb will never be the exact as the original. So we might not get a full crunch cookie like we do a regular biscotti, but if we can get close, that's all I need. So we'll wait and we will be back. And our first batch of biscottis, regular biscottis from Italy, made with all-purpose flour, these are finished. We're now going to set these aside, let them cool off, and we will try this cookie. I cannot wait. It smells absolutely amazing. I have beautiful coloring on both sides of my cookie. So these, Lord y'all, they smell so good. So I am now going to wait, and we will be back with these. In the meantime, I'm going to prepare so that we can make our low carb biscottis next.